An anonymous letter reaches French police in 1901. A woman has been locked away for over 20 years in a house. When they force open the upstairs door, someone lies in the dark, skin and bone, surrounded by rats, roaches, and human filth. Her name, Blanche Monnier, missing for 25 years, hidden in her own mother's house. And at night, she whispered, "Don't let her in. She hates the light."
Welcome to THN Mystery. This is not a place for the curious. This is a place for those who need to know. Even if knowing means you'll never sleep again. We don't make things up. We retell what has already happened. Forgotten cases, shadows in history, and things that were never meant to be spoken of. If you believe in reason, prepare to let it go. If this is exactly what you've been looking for, then you're in the right place. Like and subscribe to the channel and join us as we step into another chapter of darkness. Now turn off the lights and enjoy. The phantom behind the locked door. The case of Blanche Monnier. Poitiers. The silent house in the streets of Poitiers. May 1901, on a quiet street in Poitiers, France, the police received an anonymous letter. No return address, just a hastily scrawled sentence in black ink. There is a woman being held captive in Madame Monnier's house for over 20 years. At first, authorities thought it was a sick joke. The Monnier family was aristocratic, respected, known for their piety and prestige. But given the severity of the claim, they decided to investigate. When the upstairs door was forced open, even the most hardened officers turned away to vomit at the scene. A vile stench, a mix of human waste, mold and decay. A dark, windowless room, the light blocked by heavy curtains. And in the center, on a rotting mattress surrounded by rats and cockroaches, was a skeletal figure with pale, translucent skin, matted hair, and eyes that still held consciousness. She was Blanche Monnier, and she had been imprisoned for 25 years. Part 2. A door locked by honor. Blanche was once a beautiful, intelligent young woman, admired in Poitiers' upper circles. But at age 25, she committed an unforgivable sin. She fell in love with an older, poor lawyer, and worse, a liberal. Her mother, Louise Monnier, outwardly devout, inwardly cruel and fanatical, issued an ultimatum: leave him or be erased from the family bloodline. Blanche refused, and then she vanished. The family claimed she had entered a secluded convent. No visitors, no questions. The Monnier name was so revered, their silence served as proof. No one suspected that Blanche was locked in a pitch-black room, deprived of sunlight, clean water, or human contact, hearing only the rattle of keys when her mother occasionally delivered food. Part 3. 25 years in darkness. Blanche survived, if that word can be used, in filth and rot. She began hearing voices in her head. Once she scratched cryptic messages into the walls with her fingernails. I am not alone here. Someone watches me from the mirror. Police later found symbols drawn in dried blood, broken nails embedded in the wall, faceless figures, and a strange emblem that resembled a bleeding eye. Every night, Blanche told herself twisted fairy tales, stories of a princess not cursed by a witch, but imprisoned by her own blood. She spoke to rats, to the darkness, and sometimes to an unseen entity she called Madame Noire. She sits by the bed smiling when Mother locks the door. She says, "One day, this whole house will be locked like me." A police officer later wrote in his notebook, "She looked at me, not with fear or confusion, but with a blankness, as if her eyes had grown accustomed to death. But I swear for a second, it felt like she knew my name before I even spoke." When found, Blanche weighed just 25 kilograms. Her skin had fused to the mattress from prolonged contact with her own. As sunlight streamed in, she whispered, "Don't let her in. She doesn't like the light," then passed out. Part 4. The Curtain of Reputation. Louise Monnier was arrested immediately. She didn't deny it. In fact, she said, "That girl betrayed our name. She deserved punishment." Blanche's brother Marcel was charged with complicity but acquitted due to mental incompetence. The only real sentence came from public outrage, a wave of fury that swept across France. But the case was quickly silenced, buried by the Monnier family's influence. Louise died just days later in custody, officially from heart failure. Yet witnesses claimed she screamed through the night, shrieking that Blanche was outside the bars, smiling at her. Others swore they heard lullabies echoing from her cell, childish songs filled with venom. Blanche was transferred to a psychiatric hospital. She never fully recovered. Though treated, she rarely spoke. Only at night did she hum old melodies, songs only her mother had sung to her as a child. She lived 12 more years and died silently. No funeral, no family. Only a young nurse laid a single rose on her chest. Part 5. Questions left unanswered. How could a person be imprisoned for 25 years without anyone knowing? Can prestige and power build a prison more terrifying than bars? Was the anonymous letter the conscience of someone who stayed silent too long? Who, or what, was Madame Noire? A hallucination, or something that haunted the house before Blanche was even born? And even now, might there still be other Blanche rooms hidden behind locked doors, inside homes that seem so ordinary? The file is closed, but the darkness behind the locked door is not. You've just heard a true story, or at least a piece of the truth, but what you just heard might still be happening somewhere out there. This is THN Mystery, where every shadow leaves a trace. Let us know your thoughts on the story, or tell us what you want to hear next. See you again, if you still dare to return.